I'm Larry Ridley, and this is Madden 17 on EA Sports. Anticipation is bouncing for today's game, and we've got two quarterbacks looking to make an impact. It's the Jets going up against the Steelers. So let's get you up to the Steel City. Standing by in Pittsburgh, here are Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Tonight, we've got a good AFC matchup on tap between the New York Jets and the Pittsburgh Steelers. On first down. And got his man complete. He's at the 30, 10, 5, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Quincy Enunwa, 75 yards. And the Jets have taken a first-quarter lead. Well, that's how they envisioned it. Get the football to start the game and score it.
And I don't know if that was scripted. Was it an audible? Or was it just a play call that they had in their pocket? No matter what, they had the right call on against the right defense, and they end up in the end zone.
Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. This will be taken about the 12. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. Offensive starters time. Electric is certainly a word that comes to mind when you talk about Le'Veon Bell.
Love the way that he reshaped his body coming out of college. A bigger, thicker runner while he was at Michigan State. Lost weight, became more of a whippet in the NFL, and now no one can tackle the guy, whether he's running it or catching it.
It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
That was a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Now a first down carry by Bell. And some room to work. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Now they'll throw it with Roethlisberger. Brought in by Coates. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down. All right, as we punch up the starters defensively for the Jets here, Charles, I want to ask you about Darrelle Revis. Some questions surrounding where he fits in going forward. Could he make a move to safety in 2017?
It's hard for those guys who are used to playing one position to make a move later because in their mind, it makes it sound like they can't do it anymore. But think about his predecessors. Ronnie Lott moved from corner to safety. Charles Woodson moved from corner to safety. I think Darrelle Revis can do the exact same thing.
Here's Roethlisberger. He's got his man here. It's Green. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
He went full scale, loose, flexible, finding a way to catch the ball in some traffic for a key first down.
Yeah, really a nice job of adjusting to the ball in the air. Not the most accurate of throws, but able to adjust and make the grab. Now Roethlisberger on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And New York set to take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan, and Well, there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. That one goes for 24 yards.
And the game just keeps evolving. Big guys running those corner routes, so difficult to cover.
On 1st and 10, Hackenberg. Anunua's got it, complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. And when this offense is clicking on all cylinders, the running back is in sync as well.
The focal point. Runs, catches, blocks, sets a tone for the offense.
They come up at an offset eye. Here's Hackenberg. Left side complete. Safarian Jenkins. And he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards.
You meet with coaches, and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football. It's oftentimes with a good tight end. They're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that combination.
Hackenberg now to throw on first. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what 2nd down has in store. Now throw for Hackenberg. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
On 3rd down, Hackenberg. That is caught inside the 5. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. Robbie Anderson, a 14-yard touchdown. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead.
That score was not a game clincher by any stretch of the imagination. But the other team now has to be careful to not let this game begin to slip away.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to be hit and taken down in the backfield. Just nowhere to run that time. And the try for 2 is snuffed out. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does, depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play. So
and the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Muhammad Wilkerson in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Big sack on second down. Now the offense needs to convert here on third. They'll come out in the pistol. Now Ben on third and long. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Let's take it inside his own 40. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Jets take possession. And New York set to take the field. They come up in an offset eye. Now a play fake here on first down. Safarian Jenkins has it. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A good pickup there at 22.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Quincy Anoon with the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Second down following the incompletion. And they'll go bootleg with Hackenberg. And to the tight end here, Safarian Jenkins. That one good for 10 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
They'll be marked inches short. No gain on the play, and that's going to lead them to 4th down.
On every snap, a defense is trying to establish who they are, but on 3rd and short, that's really when you put it out there and tell people who you are, and that's exactly what they did. For the offense, they're looking at their offensive line and saying, guys, where are you? We need you on those plays.
So a good kick there, and they wrap up the drive by putting 3 on the board.
And, you know, let's face it, you're not always going to come away with 6. Defense in the NFL are just too good. But you've got to come away with something. And there, they get 3.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And it looks like this will likely be the last play before we hit the 2-minute warning.
Let's see if they can sneak one more good play in before the 2-minute signal.
So an entertaining first half, and now we have hit the 2-minute warning. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. Goes underneath for Bell. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 4 yards on the pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. He gets it to Brown, complete. And he's going to have a 1st down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line.
There's no doubt about it. That's just one of the best connections in the league. Big Ben throwing it to Antonio Brown, and Antonio Brown has turned himself into such a player. A low-round draft pick, but you can't beat his determination or work ethic, and Big Ben welcomes that.
And Big Ben won a Super Bowl at 23, youngest ever to do so, has never looked back. CD, wanted to get your thoughts just on the landscape of the offseason for each of these teams. Super Bowl in the rearview mirror, but so much going on. People look at the draft a lot, but there's a lot more that goes into the offseason for these front offices, is there not?
It certainly is, and even before we get to the draft, you start with the Combine, that's held in Indianapolis every year, and you have about 350 of the top prospects coming together to get their physicals and interviews and on-field performance, and all that will get evaluated along with their game tape. And then you've got the free agents, all right? That starts, I believe, in early March, where now the free agents can start moving around to different teams. So your team's starting to take a little bit of shape there, free agency, because then the draft's coming up. You're trying to put your team together with new draft picks, have everyone start to move in one direction. And then you have the OTAs and minicamps. You get to see them on the field for the first time. And we start to get a better idea of how these teams are going to look when the fall begins.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. Here we go on 4th down with Roethlisberger. And it is incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Jets are going to get the football here in great field position. And New York set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Mitchell. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
2nd down now after the pass completion. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Eluding the pressure right. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. A screen to Bell. Good contain, no gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. And he did get it back, I do think. Yes, so no turnover on the punt, and it'll be a 1st down. And New York set to take the field. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have. Be aggressive, go after it, and try and get those points.
Trying to shake off the interception, he'll look to throw. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. That'll bring up 2nd down. Well, he just threw an interception last drive, nearly another pick.
Things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of different driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? Because that's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love it. The Steelers insert their nickel defense on 3rd down.
Yeah, they add a DB. And he's got a noon one. That he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And now a first down following that long gain. Hackenberg on first down. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And Folk's kick is good. And that will make this now an 18-point ball game. So they get the 3, increase their lead to close out the half.
Excellent way to end a drive. Go into the locker room with a little bit of extra momentum after adding 3 to their total.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up. Okay, so Larry apparently giving us the silent treatment all of a sudden, and we're going to skip ahead to quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, it hasn't been a whole lot of fun for Le'Veon Bell in this ball game, trying to find room to run the ball. I'm sure they're going to have to change some things up because he's so versatile. They've got to get the ball in his hands somehow and create some space because they're losing this game.
Well, and defensively, you've got to key in on Bell, make him the focal point to stop him, and they've been able to do that.
And he has gotten better every year he's been in the league, always adding something to his game, one of the premier runners in the NFL.
Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 4th down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
They'll indeed go for it with Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. It'll be a gain of 18 on the play. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on 4th down. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Here's Roethlisberger. And this one is incomplete. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
These two. Here we go. Easy.
3rd and 2. Now Roethlisberger. He completes it to Bryant. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Nothing flashy there, the slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play, and you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch, and then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
And this is not going to do it as he stopped at the 2-yard line. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Le'Veon Bell taking it in from a yard out. And the Steelers are able to close the gap just a bit.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. A look at the offense now here, coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half.
Watch it now, Barney. Watch it now.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And the cutback to this. And now the rookie's free. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 64 yards. So you got the lead here in the second half. Obviously, you love big runs like that at any time. Here you really like them.
And how about the confidence that's being exhibited by that offense now? They don't care what you're lining up doing on the defensive side. They want the big fella to carry the football and carry it often.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage. Back at the 6. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
There's so many times during camp and practice that you get bored as a player doing regular drills. But how about that shed and skate drill right there by the linebacker? You do it each and every day. Get the blocker away and get into the backfield and make a big-time tackle. That's what we just saw. And he still doesn't have a catch. We're into the second half. I think it's a little bit of a surprise to me, but that was one he should have caught.
Absolutely. That was his best opportunity right there. He dropped it. 3rd and goal. Hackenberg. And he's going to be taken down. He's sacked on the final play of this 3rd quarter. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. A 33-yarder from the left hash. Can you believe this won't even make it there? It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They come up with one running back. That's Bell. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
And there was a good opportunity. Just went awry there. A drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
Another pistol look here. Now it's Roethlisberger. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And caught right side, Green. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave him with some options here on 4th and inches. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. They'll run it with Bell. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45.
And this is a spot where you have your offense stay out there to get those few inches. It's too long for a field goal. It's not worth punting. So this is the right decision as far as I'm concerned. And they wind up picking up the first down.
Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. And he's going to drop this off to Williams, complete. It's a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a second down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Now Roethlisberger. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Green with a catch left side. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3 and out.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And New York set to take the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, though.
It does test the mental processes of the team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch, and guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Got an open man. It's a noon one. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
Oh, surprise. Hackenberg looks to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, partner, I think the defensive fellas got the memo, and they decided to cover him on that play.
Yeah, he's already up over 100 yards in this game. They tried a deep shot, couldn't get it.
Yeah, when you've had that much success, finally someone said, let's try and put a stop to it.
Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Pittsburgh to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that... And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line. So out now come the Jets. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going...
And the Steelers signal for another timeout. That'll be their second, so one more chance to stop the clock here, and we'll be back. Let's see what the offense comes with here. 2nd and 8. They come out here in the eye. Now Hackenberg. Wide open receiver complete. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? It sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So he got free of one tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. It'll be their third and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. Throwing here, Hackenberg. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
3rd down, here's Forte. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And Folk's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So barring something extraordinary, something crazy here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Brandon, this will be a great win for them. The better team's going to win this game, no question about it.
And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it. And that's why you had your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
And this is intercepted. And that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. 20. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 and a Jet touchdown.
Now that was a beautiful play. A pick 6. How would you punctuate something like that, partner?
What do you mean, with an exclamation mark?
Exclamation mark, a big word. What would you do with that?
Ampersand?
I like it.
And this doesn't work. The Steelers recover it.
Come on, not fair.
The risk-reward of the onside kick. When you don't get it, the risk comes out to play, and here they gave up great field position.
And that's the key to everything, because you're trying your best to press advantages when you have them, and field position leads you to that type of play calling, and whether you want to blitz or whether you want to throw the ball deep, those types of things, now they've given up that type of field position, the advantage is switched to their opponent.
Bryant spread out to the right.
I like 20. 3 down.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable. Usually an excellent target and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
And on 2nd and 10 now.
3 down. Let's go.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Roethlisberger. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. A great read, and it's picked off. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. And New York set to take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A great effort there. 65 yards. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And the Jets set to take the field. They come into enemy territory, and I don't care what the matchup is in the National Football League. You're up like this late in the game on the road. This feels pretty good.
Oh, it feels fantastic. Anytime you get a road victory in the NFL, that's a big-time accomplishment. And to do it this convincingly, that just tears up the script that every home team has, which is nobody comes into our house and pushes us around. They took care of business today.
Yeah, they pushed around, and now the final stages of this one. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Sliding out of the pocket. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here. It looked like he might have had a window there, but the rhythm was just a little bit off.
It certainly was, because everything that has to come together